Hi friends, it's Caitlin and welcome back to the Floating Rock podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. So, I have a hunch that maybe some of you are not feeling incredible right now. I was sick and then I got sick again. I don't really get sick very often. And so to have a back-to-back moment like that, it's kind of weird for me, but it's so funny. I will say, I kind of like the solidarity of when everyone kind of gets sick at the same time. It's like we're right here with each other. Obviously, 1 week after Halloween, and everybody I know got fucked up. Oh, sick fucked up. Hello. But yeah, kind of got their shit rocked. But it made me think, I was like, well, I've always wanted to make this episode, and I always want to make it when I'm fresh off of being sick. But I never can quite catch that bitch, you know? Basically, I come here today to challenge you with the idea of reframing being sick. Basically, this idea I came up with like months ago. I was just like, I really always do feel like I learn something every time I get sick, or every time I get better. And I always think that's so interesting. And it's come to the point through noticing that I actually I look at getting sick in a kind of a different way. I feel like before I used to look at it as so negative and God, that's so bad, it sucks, and your whole life stops and blah blah blah, and bad. However, recently, because I've been thinking this so often, I've kind of started to see it as more of a what I call a mandatory reset. As we know, recently I had an episode about resetting and about the intentional things that you can do to reset, blah blah. But there is a beautiful thing about getting sick because it forces your fuck ass to sit down and reset. And I kind of like the idea of how when you do get sick, it kind of forces you to also take an outside look at your life and who you are, who you're being, how you're living your everyday. And I'm just it's very floating rock. I do really like that. I like the idea of, we can choose to have resets, we can choose to reflect all we want, but when you get sick, you're kind of forced to do that. And it's kind of cool when you think about it. Oh, I also learned this new fun fact recently. So it's called the letdown effect. Duh! If I'm wrong, I'm butchering stuff, apologies. But if it is what I read it to be, so we think, okay, why did you get sick? Why'd you get sick? A lot of the time, usually, you're stressed. You're way too stressed. You're gonna burn out, blah, blah, blah. Or you went to a Halloween party, or you're just, people are just gross. It's flu season, whatever. But something I thought that was super interesting, because sometimes usually you can kind of track down why you got sick, right? After reading this, I was like, oh my God. Basically, my first sick was whatever, your average thing. But I'm I never get hit with a double whammy. But then basically this letdown effect, sorry, I'm teasing you. It's basically when you get sick, kind of when the dust settles. It's almost okay, it's a little bit dark, but you ever hear about when people die, they actually can choose when to die. So they don't want to die in front of a family member, so they'll be oh hey, could you go and grab me some water? And they're in their freaking hospital bed, and then the person leaves, and then they're and they come back and they're holy fuck. That's a crazy way to put it, but sometimes this letdown effect thing happens in your life too. Sometimes you're how come it didn't hit me when I was at the height of my stress, the height of my busyness, blah, blah, blah. It's actually because it's your body is almost more vulnerable once the dust settles and you finally sit down, And so I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if it was the post Halloween weekend, whatever. Finally I sat down and was whew. And my body was ooh, you bitch, shouldn't have done that. Because I feel that I see that a lot where people will end the really important weekend or end the camping trip or end the this and the that, and the dust settling is the best way I can put it. And then that's when they get sick. Because I feel our bodies are very strong. They're very resilient. And I feel sometimes they can really hold on for a motherfucker. In my head, don't take this as medical advice at all because it's probably wrong. But I'm in a very certain time, to a very certain extent, could you almost evade sickness? Could you put it off for a little bit until let's say you have a really important conference to go to, but let's say that's on a Sunday and you're starting to feel a bad vibe on a Thursday. Could you keep your vibes up here, keep going at a 10 to almost have your body in that fight or flight up until Sunday, and then almost, what's the word? Surrender to the sick after that, because you're well, now it's coming my way, right? Could that work? I don't know, because I feel our bodies really do when they are in that fight or flight, like they can do some crazy, crazy shit. But also that could literally fuck you over, because another thing I have noted is I think during college and like, you know, finally being fully on my own and stuff, something like one of the biggest things that I learned about getting sick and stuff is if you can afford it, the fucking second that you catch a bad vibe coming your way, like the actual second, put down everything and like nurse that shit and get the hell out of there. I have once, guys, I've started the day with a sore throat, and I have like drank so much water, had so much Zicam. If you are new here, please buy Zicam. It's a cold shortener and it'll change your fucking life. Anyway, I have like dropped everything, didn't go to the gym, didn't whatever, like just did everything I could to like get rid of it in one day. And multiple times this has worked for me. By stopping everything, you're able to like get through it in a day, and it doesn't even fully hit you. And I'm like, that's badass. That's badass. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, big lesson there. If you're one of those people who loves to push through and be like, no, like it's fine, it's just a sore throat, like girl, you'll save yourself a week of being sick if you just drop it all right now and like take care of your damn self. Because on that note of like being sick teaching you things, one of the biggest things that I think getting sick teaches you, and like something you learn from it, is like you usually are coming straight off of a time of high stress, of burnout, of pushing yourself too hard. And like, you know, a lot of the time too, it's not even like, oh, you were doing one certain week insane, but it's like, you got to think that for how often one gets sick, like you could be coming off of a 6-month stint of go, and drinking and working out and doing your work and waking up early and pushing yourself. And you know what I mean? Like that's kind of crazy. So that's one of my favorite things, I guess, to learn from getting sick, is to really like look at how I'm living my life right before and be like, oh, T, I see what she was doing there. I also always feel like for some reason too, it comes at the perfect time. Like for some reason it cuts you off. In my head, I'm like imagining you're running and then there's like a rope kind of like waist level and you just like, oh, right over it. Like to me, that's like what getting sick kind of feels like sometimes, because it breaks you right in the middle of your stride, but sometimes it's like for the best fucking reason, and like you needed to be stopped, you know, or else you'd just be this like demon slayer monster, and like you had to be brought back down to earth. I will say another thing too that I think is super interesting is the idea of like the way that it reframes you to like look at your body, I guess. Like think about it, when you're sick, like your human vessel, like your literal, like your ship is not working. And then like that's kind of crazy, because like this is the only one you have. And like the fact that we even push to the side sometimes getting better is like actually insane, because like you only got one of these hoes, right? But yeah, it's fun to also look into that too. And like obviously a lot of us get sick for different reasons. Some people are just like chronic stress, or some people is maybe bad habits that catch up. Maybe it's drinking, maybe it's eating unhealthy, maybe it's dehydration. That's a huge one. And so that's also been really interesting, and like how that reframes every time that you get sick. Especially like, I don't know, if you have an interesting relationship with food sometimes, like, you know, there are sicknesses times where I get really hungry actually, and it's funny to like watch myself and see what I try to pick to eat during like a time of being sick, because I notice I look at food so much more like fuel, because I'm like, no, like what I'm eating right now is going to either help or hinder me in getting better, you know? So that's another really interesting thing, and like to watch what your brain does when she's trying to like pick up all the pieces and be like, no, like I need to get better. Because I'm like, normally I don't go for like certain foods that like I will eat when I'm sick, or you give yourself certain leeway for eating other things because you're like, no, like this is actually gonna help me, or this is just really comforting. I always just think that's super interesting. No, my camera's gonna die. This sucks. It's okay though. If it dies, I'll live. And you'll live too. But I guess like maybe this one's gonna be really short and sweet, honestly, because I still have a little bit of sick brain right now. But my biggest thing here, guys, is during this time of getting sick, number 1, take care of your friends. Cute. But number 2, my biggest note here is I challenge you to reframe next time you get sick. Or maybe you're literally sick right now. I challenge you to reframe this, because I just feel like this is like a really good opportunity to like take advantage of looking at your life and looking at maybe even like your health and wellness routines, looking at everything from like this outside perspective. You're kind of stuck in the bed. you're stuck away from society, taking this opportunity to like reevaluate like kind of what's happening. Because what I love about this mandatory reset that being sick is I love that the way that it helps you romanticize your life after. Like, I am never more excited to go get shit done, to go to the gym, to go do anything, to go be near people than after I've been sick. Like, take that opportunity as like a fucking, in Mario Kart, there's like the rainbow little slidey things that make you go really fast for a second. If you don't, that's kind of, you won't get what I'm talking about. But like, it's like a power up. Like, you are down so that you can go up. As we know, I'm a big proponent of the whole like ebbs and flows, and to go down, to go up, you have to go down first. Life's a trampoline, bitch. And so like, I feel like being sick is such like a low that it really can like create some of the highest highs, and like almost looking at it like it was dealt to you. Like, you can choose to reset, and you can choose to like quote unquote change your life whenever you want, and you can choose to be in an ebb, be in a flow, that kind of stuff. Actually, can you really choose that? But I think sometimes being dealt a sick week, being dealt a sick couple of days, like, take advantage of that shit. It's like a literal like power up, I feel like the things you can do after that. Because honestly, right now I feel some of the most motivated that I have in like a little while, and it's because I'm like, not only am I excited to like get my full working brain again, but I'm also really excited to like have my full working body again. And I'm like, I'm ready to freaking get at this shit. And that's not to say like, oh, and then strive towards never being sick again. It's like, no, it's the same thing that I said with the whole resetting thing. Like, it's, you're gonna come back to being sick again, and sometimes that's a beautiful thing, and sometimes it's really cool that you have this kind of place to come back to, your sick self, if you will, to come back, sit back, observe your life from an outside perspective, and really feel grateful for like the everyday life that you live. Look at that, tying in the gratitude episode, like, so cute. Because I will say, like, you never feel more grateful for just like existing as a human until your nose is stuffed, like, or your throat is sore. Like, you are never more grateful to just be living and breathing normally until that moment. So I'm like, that's my idea here, guys, is I challenge you to rethink about being sick, and to maybe look at it more as like a free reset and a free moment to really sit down and take care of yourself. And I know a lot of us, that's a really hard thing to do sometimes, whether you're one of those people who just is really busy and likes to just keep going during life and doesn't like to take a moment to stop, or you're one of those people who loves to take care of others but never take care of yourself. Like, this is such a good moment to take for yourself, and to take to like reset in your life, and to get fucking hype. One of my favorite sick activities is to like plan for when I'm not sick, and I'm like, yes! And I think about all the workouts I'm going to do, and all the work I'm going to get done, and all the things I'm going to do. I'm like so excited. Obviously, this is all because, we are kind of lucky to be in a place in time, where like the common cold won't fucking kill you. So that's sick. Another thing to be grateful for. And another thing too is like, especially if you can afford the meds and like you have insurance, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. If you are in the place to work through a sickness in a comfortable way, take this as a way to reframe it. There we go. Isn't it so fun to backpedal and like try to be politically correct in every single way? You guys know what I mean. I always try, and it's never going to be good enough. But yeah, I hope this inspires you to like change your perspective. Or maybe if you have someone in your life who's sick and you listen to this right now and they're all in the dumps, be like, no, like, take this moment, rest, and like give yourself this moment. Like, society is so fucking demanding that like the fact that we even get sick days is like kind of freaking lit, because like America's crazy. It's freaking crazy. So the fact that we all just hear, oh, I'm sick, and we're like, oh yeah, there's a pass, is great. And yeah, I challenge you to change your perspective, I guess, take advantage of perhaps being in a sick situation. And yeah, I hope I got my point across. We'll see. Thanks guys so much for listening. Follow the pod, rate the pod. Peace and love, lots of love and healthy energy coming your way though, guys. Don't you fret. I don't want you to be sick. I just want you to like reframe it if you do get sick, because it's inevitable sometimes. But yeah, love, light, and well wishes going your way. Thank you again for listening. See you next week. Bye bye.